This is Ḥamzah Maqbūl driving somewhere through the backwoods of Indiana on my way to Akron, Ohio, where the program for this weekend, ballots, bans, and bloodbaths, baffled believers at the ballot box event is going to happen. The whole idea with it is that we wanted to kind of break the stranglehold that seems to be on our community, on the mimbars, on the pulpits from which the Friday prayer is preached, and on the masajid, on even the places of learning, where it seems, although there are notable exceptions, but it seems like the rule is that the people who have the knowledge of Islam, have the understanding of the ethics of Islam, have the understanding of how society works, those people seem to be silent about anything political. On the other hand, those people who are yakking and talking about politics, those people are usually not organically grown leadership from within our community, but they're people foisted on us from the outside, from the Democratic Party, from the Republican Party, from foreign countries, from other vested interests, or just any idiot who can manage to get a platform for themselves, kind of like the ugly duckling. Our people are, basically look at every single different thing and every single different person, and they're like, are you my leader? Are you my leader? There's no real guidance based on the teachings of Islam other than sloganing or other than appeals to emotional manipulation. So, this is a really important event, inshallah. This weekend, myself, Sheikh Mūsā, Sugapong, we're going to talk about some usuli matters, some principled matters. What are politics? Are all politics dirty? Is it true that in order to be a pious person you have to abstain from them, or somehow necessarily when you engage in politics, are you going to necessarily do something that's going to compromise your deen and address this fiction? And then we're going to also talk about this upcoming election, because election day is next Tuesday, and we're going to talk about very practical things. And from the practical things we're going to talk about is precisely the fact that Ohio is a swing state. I could have much more easily done this event in Rabat in Chicago, or at least in Chicago, maybe not in Rabat itself, because it's an overtly political event, so it's maybe a little bit outside the scope of the 501c3 of Rabat and its mission. But we could have more easily done it in Chicago. I'm traveling to Ohio precisely because it's a swing state. Understanding how any of that works is also part of engaging in the political process. Going in with your eyes open with something practical rather than something that's so theoretical as to just be a fairy tale or a description of a fairy tale. So inshallah, whoever is able to do so, please go ahead and register at the link that I will append to the description after this live stream is done. And also because of the political nature of the discussion, in which we will be talking about specific candidates, specific initiatives, and maybe giving some ideas about how we feel like voting should be. This is not something that can be paid for or funded through our 501c3, through Rabat or through No Man or through other nonprofits that we're associated with. So this is all coming out of pocket. And so I'll also append a link that if somebody wants to help this effort out, think this is a noble effort and a good effort and something that's necessary for our community. I can do this out of pocket, but there's only so many things a person can do until they get tapped out. So I also reach out my hand in order to help out, the Ummah of the Prophet ﷺ. If you want to reach out your hand and aid and assist as well, inshallah, you can help with some of the expenses as well. One of the students who read the Tahawiyah from me a couple of years ago actually happened to get a job at Launch Good, so she encouraged me to open a Launch Good for this and facilitated that. So the link to that Launch Good, inshallah, I'll append it also to the description of this video, in case you wanted to help pay for the expenses associated with going there, coming back, the live stream time and effort. We're gonna have a couple of guys actually drive out in order to do the AV, so that people who are not able to physically make it to Akron can also watch the event, and hopefully the content can be mined for general things that will be helpful for guidance for a believer who is interested in helping out the ummah through the political process in future elections, because the world is not going to end or change immutably next Tuesday unless the day of judgment happens, and if so, it will do so in a way that's very different than what people are anticipating. There will be other elections, and we have to see over the horizon to the gubernatorial elections next year, to the midterms elections the year after. People will be electing presidents later on and whatnot. Don't think that just because the bloodbath in Gaza is happening right now that you're completely powerless. The people in Gaza, I wouldn't find it far-fetched if one were to ask many of them, if they said, look, as Americans, what can we do to help? We are the one people who actually have an ability to uniquely impact the political process, and we are doing it, and we'll continue to do it in a way that can actually make the resolution of their nightmare much easier. Wallahu fi auni al-abdi ma kana al-abdu fi auni akhihi. Allah Ta'ala is there to help his slave as long as the slave is there to help his brother. So don't turn your back on them or on a number of other issues, because even our fellow Americans who are not Muslims, they need us. They also need us to share this message with them, not just by overtly proselytizing, although that's also important, but also by living out our values and implementing our values in all avenues of life, which definitely includes the political process. And so if you're intrigued, if you want to know more, if you think you have something to disagree with, go ahead and watch the thing in order to mine it for stuff to refute. But let's at least have the discussion, because iron sharpens iron, and maybe somebody will have some constructive criticism from what they hear that will help us also to elevate the discourse as well. This is also very necessary, but do participate, don't just drop out and be a hater. Allah Ta'ala give us all tawfiq. Wa sallallahu ta'ala ala rasulihi sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
No way.